If you understand the basic structure of a function, then you understand that simple if function is used when there are two possible outcomes based on logical test. But we can use if function even when there are more than two possible outcomes based on logical test. In that case, we have to use nesting of if function. When you use if within if, we call it nesting of a function. Like in this example, we have the marks of students in audit subject and we want to assign different grades based on the marks obtained. We will give A grade if the score is above 70. For score 60 to 70, B grade, 50 to 60, C grade, and below 50, we will give D grade. So what we have to do, we have to use if within if. So let me show you how we can assign different grades based on the marks. So just put in equal here. If the first parameter is logical test, and logical test is if C6 is greater than 70, comma. If C6 is greater than 70, it should be A grade. Otherwise, we will test it again if this is greater than 60. Now understand the statement once again. If C6 is greater than 70, if will give you A grade. Otherwise, it is possible that C6 is not greater than 70, but it is greater than 60. If it is greater than 60, it should be B grade, comma. Otherwise, we will test it again if this is greater than 50, comma. If it is greater than 60, it will give you B grade. Otherwise, it is possible that if it is not greater than 60, it is greater than 50. So if it is greater than 50, it should be C grade. Otherwise, it should be D grade. Close the bracket 3 times because we have opened 3 if functions. Now understand what if will do. If will check if C6 is greater than 70 or not. If C6 is greater than 70, it will give you A grade directly. Otherwise, it will test it again if it is greater than 60. If it is greater than 60, it will give you B grade. Otherwise, it will test if it is greater than 50 or not. If it is greater than 50, it will give you C grade. Otherwise, it will give you D grade. In this case, C6 is just 45, so it should be D grade. Now let me change the value and see what happens to the outcome. If I put, let's say, 71, it should give you A grade. If I put, let's say, 61, it should be B grade. If I put 51, it should be C grade. If I put 41, let's say, it should be D grade. Now let us do it once again for a revision. Put in equal if C7 greater than 70, comma, if C7 greater than 70, it should be A grade. Otherwise, we will test it again if C7 greater than 60, comma. If C7 greater than 60, it should be B grade. Otherwise, we will test it again if this is greater than 50. If it is greater than 50, it should be C grade. Otherwise, it should be D grade. Close the bracket 3 times. Press enter to see the value. We are getting D grade. Now let us change the value and see whether we are getting the right answers or not. If I put, let's say, 75, it should be A grade. If it is 65, it should be B grade. If it is 55, it should be C grade. If it is 45, it should be D grade. So we are getting right answer in all the cases. So just copy this and paste it across. Now there are multiple other ways to get the same output. Now let me show you one alternative way to get the grades. Put in equal if C6 is less than 50, comma. If C6 is less than 50, it should be D grade directly, comma. If it is less than 50, it should be D grade. If it is not less than 50, we will test it again if this is less than 60. If it is less than 60, it should be C grade. Otherwise, we will test it again if this is less than 70. If it is less than 70, it should be B grade. Otherwise, it should be A grade. Now understand the statement. If C6 is less than 50, it is done, it should be D grade. If it is not less than 50, it is possible that it is less than 60. So we are testing it. If it is less than 60, it should be C grade. If it is not less than 60, we will test it again if it is less than 70. If it is less than 70, it should be B grade. Otherwise, it should be A grade. Press enter to see the output. We are getting the same answer in both the cases. So just copy this and paste it across.